I don't know what it is. Like the energy is just so terrible. Like
Hmm. Even music don't even help it anymore. Cause I feel like I listen to all the music already. Like even music don't help it anymore. Like or anything. It's just the energy, bro. That's what I had to realize. Everything is just like it's just the energy, you know.
even if I listen to music from back then, it might hit a little bit, but it's still not going to hit the same because the era that we're like currently in, like we're still in a different time. So no
Hmm.
matter how much energy the stuff had from back then, it's still not going to like register because you're living in the present time. So I start to notice even certain things that I liked in the past, it doesn't hit for some reason now.
Like when I listen to like old music from the past, it feels kind of cringe. I feel like a cringe type of feeling because we're no longer in that era anymore, and it's so like dilapidated now. Like it doesn't allow me to feel the same as I used to feel before. So it's like, why am I listening to it? You know, so just I feel cringe. It's like going. It's like you looking at yourself in the 1940s and looking at yourself in the 2000s. Like you're gonna see a clear difference. You're gonna kind of feel like all about it. Like it's gonna be kind of weird. That's how just the energy is.
And it's like even if you try to listen to something from nowadays, it just doesn't hit at all. Like I don't know what it is. It's to the point where I'm thinking of doing it on purpose.
Hmm.
That's just how bad everything has gotten. Because it's like I know you're an artist. Like if you made good music before, it's kind of like second nature for you to like know how to make good music.
Hmm.
So it's like how have you fallen off so bad to the point where it's like your music isn't even listenable. Like that's how certain music is now. It's like I can't even listen to it. Like I'll just get bored of it after like 2 seconds, and I'll have to like turn it off. Like these are the things that used to like give you some sort of enjoyment in this reality. But it's like now you can't even enjoy that.
Hmm. I'm having a feeling like they hijack people our minds, which is connected to the dopamine receptors, so we don't really feel true happiness. Because if you feel freedom or whatever, you allow things to flow through you, and what I'm saying, it won't block your blessings as much because you're like abundant. So it's like I'm having a feeling that they done this, they hijacked their minds or whatever, like what I'm saying, because you don't even feel
And another here's something like I was thinking of too. Like you know how people speak of like extraterrestrials or whatever.
Hmm.
Like the way I was thinking about it is like some type of like extraterrestrial technology or something that is no longer able to be in use. Cause like you know how like if somebody uses a sample or something like it has to get cleared or they can't use it.
Hmm.
Just like you're using somebody else's rights or something.
Yeah.
Like that's how I feel about everything. Like I feel like there was a certain technology in place like with music and the frequencies, but I feel like it's no longer able to be in use anymore. So it's like all the stuff that we used to feel and all the like the frequencies and how everything used to be like the music, how good it was. I feel like that was a certain like extraterrestrial like technology like that was being in use.
Hmm.
But I feel like whatever it was, it's no longer able to be in use.
Oh yeah, that's why everything feels so dim.
So it's like now it's like you don't get that same sensation with things. Like it feels like something was in play that's no longer in play with all of this stuff. Like whatever technology and frequencies that was being in use is no longer like being in like it's no longer in place.
I've been watching videos on it because there's nothing really interesting on here about like ancient advanced technology. You know what I'm saying? It's something they can't even make nowadays. Like I've been watching it recently. I mean, I watched it in the past, but it's like they're hiding it from us. You know, with I think they have the Library of Alexandria where they have a block where you can't even go there or whatever. Like it's just ancient advanced technology that they don't want us to like use. It's like they took it away from us or whatever. You know.
Yeah, that's just how I feel about it though, cause it's just a clear difference. And I just feel like they don't want, like you said, I think it's like a concentrated effort to like not only to not let people feel that happiness, but like I just feel like it's done on purpose. So it's like now when you hear certain stuff or you see certain stuff, it just seems like it's done on purpose.
Mhm.
Like you're purposely making like bad music. That's just how it seems. Cause it's like, how did you go from making good music with a certain frequency, but now it's just different? And it's not only just one artist. It's like almost every artist did it. Like they went from making a certain type of music with a certain frequency, but now it's just off. So it's like at this point, it only makes sense for this shit to be like done on purpose. Like that's how it feels. Cause it's like I know you have the power to like make a song, but it's like I feel like whatever higher ups or whatever, it basically like whatever it is like controlling the music and all that and the frequency. I feel like whatever was going on back in the day was too good and it was just too powerful for people. Like they noticed that it had a have a greater effect on people. Like the frequency was different. It made people feel a certain way how the frequencies and the music was back then. So I think they noticed that whoever controls all of this and they're like, we can't let this continue to happen. Like we can't let all this good music continue to go out. So it just feels like they put a stop to it or something. But something like I feel like it was just something done on purpose. So, and you can even hear it in some of the like beats and the
You
instrumentation.
hear me?
Yeah, not only the instrumentation from
You
like
hear me?
years ago. Like yeah,
It's like, have you ever go back and look for old songs to listen to? They deleted it and they reposted it, and now it doesn't sound the same
yeah,
because when you like post an audio or song on YouTube, the audio has to be cleared. You know what I'm saying? So I've been trying to listen to like old songs or whatever, songs I listened to like a couple years ago, and they don't even sound the same. And I realized that they deleted it, and then they had to be reposted because I look at the date, and it'll just be just recently. And those songs were from years ago, so it's like it had to get cleared, or sometimes they can't clear it because the label. You see how they done it? Like if you go on SoundCloud and look for your favorite song, you won't even find it. It will be reposted, but it won't sound the same because the audio. You know what I'm saying? So you see what they have done?
yeah. That's why I said it. Like not only like music from years ago, but even like way back in the day, like things had more instrumentation in it. So it's like it gave you a better feeling. because it was like live instrumentation.
Mm-hmm.
This is why I said I'm sure they did it on purpose, like making the music worse, because it's like that's emitting a good frequency when you have like live instrumentation and just how everything felt. So it's like they purposely corrupted it. So they
Mm.
made the frequencies worse, and now when like the instruments in these beats don't give you any type of like feeling. It's just like a negative frequency. Like you're hearing a certain like drum pattern that's just like a negative vibe. And then you look back in the day how music was like I would listen to certain songs from back then, and it's like the beats were like chill, and it was like basically a meditative type of sound. So it's like I get why they just like had to put a stop to that, because it's like that's emitting too much of a good frequency.
Mm-hmm. You know, every time like I go on old music videos or songs, people like times were so simple. I don't know if you go back to old songs, look at the comment section and be like, "Ty, like this was so simple." I'm crying. People are literally getting emotional in the comment section about it. Like that's how serious it is. Like I don't know if you do that. Like if you go and like listen to old songs and you see the comment section,
Yeah,
it's crazy.
yeah, I be seeing that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I even spoke on that on my music channel, like how strong the effect is on music. But like I said, it's like an agenda now.
Mm-hmm.
And when you hear the music that's being promoted, like how I said before, like you hear artists like Sexy Red and even these drill rappers like NBA YoungBoy, because I'm not just going to target the females and all that. It's just like you can just see the agenda. Like it's like they're purposely making the most worst music.
Like you can hear the
And then some of the artists that were making good music like years ago, like I said, if you listen to their like current music, it don't even seem like they're the same person.
mm-hmm.
That's how different the music is, like from their old music.
Like if you listen to songs, the soundtrack could be perfectly pitched, like the hi hats, the snare, the bass, but then you don't feel like the flow with it. Like you don't feel like at ease with it. Like you can just flow with it. I mean, you're shaking your head probably because you're listening to it, but it's like you don't feel the it factor in it anymore. Like I don't know what they done to music. You know, like I don't know. Like this is crazy.
And it's like sometimes I even try to psych myself out to just like be present with the music, like from like the current music.
Mhm.
But it's like every time that I go back to the old music, it's like you feel like the difference. It's like no
Mhm.
matter how hard you try to even psych yourself out, it's like if you go back to the old music, you'll feel the difference and it'll just be better.
Mhm. Mhm. I'm thinking they remove a certain thing, a wire or something.
Do you think it was like, because I think multiple things like are playing a part in this. Like one thing that I think plays a part in it is like not only is like the technology and the frequencies and all that, but I feel like what's playing a part in it is like how the energy is now. Like I feel like the energy on the planet now is playing a part in why everything is so terrible. Like I feel like it's a reflection of that. Like back then was a reflection on how times were back then, and it was just translated through the music, like how the energy was. So it's like nowadays you're getting like basically a reflection of how the energy is on a planet.
Like, I don't want to get off topic, right? You can get food and eat it. It could be a large tray of food and finish it in like less than 5 minutes. You're not supposed to finish a whole plate of food for 5 minutes. So they're adding like stuff in the food for it to disintegrate faster. Because if you eat food, a whole plate of food, and you're still hungry, that's not normal. You're supposed to kind of be full. So it's like they're putting stuff inside the food for it to like disintegrate faster or go inside your system. You know what I'm saying? You can even get seconds and you still feel more hungry. Like that's not normal. You know? I don't know if you like feel that too.
And it just feels like I don't know.
Hope this is like a phase this planet is going through because like this cannot be for like years. Like I'm just not gonna want to live in this planet like if this goes on. Hope this is like a phase because this is just insane to me, bro. Especially like moving on this like path, bro. Like it's gonna be unbearable almost. You know. Hope this is like a phase at this planet because I don't like how it's like going. Like I'm not feeling it.
It's just like I feel like whatever energies like from this planet is just like playing a part in this stuff. I don't think it's just like I don't think you could just blame the people. Like I feel like the energy on the planet is like a factor in all this stuff. Like
Hmm.
how the times are.
Yeah, you can't really just blame the people because the people are just gonna follow whatever in accordance to them. So it's like if the energy's a certain way, then they're just gonna like abide by that, you know. So it's like can't even kind of you can't even blame them. Also,
It's hard to not get trapped in the past. And I'm just talking about as far as like nostalgia, like because like even if you try to psych yourself out to enjoy the things from now, you can. So it's like you're kind of forced to have to live in the past as far as nostalgia. Like I just feel far removed from this reality. Like I can't really enjoy nothing. So I'd be kind of forced in a position to have to go back to like the old stuff.
I've been listening like old stuff recently because this new stuff is just like everybody just like clones. It's just over like bearing like you know. it doesn't seem like passionate, like they're into it. They're just trying to get a quick fix, like, you know. It's not fun. It doesn't have that funness to it or whatever.
Something is just like I get that people can like change with time, but it's like it's one thing to change, but it's like it don't even be seeming like the same person. Like, how did you go from doing this and now it's just like there's no type of energy with your like music. And it's really a shame though, because it's like you really can't enjoy music or nothing for real.
When I look at these people, even these rappers, it's like they're zombified. Like they're like zombies, you know. When I listen to their like song, they don't even sound like they even like want to even record this. They're like forcing it, you know.
Sometimes I be thinking it might be the label as well.
Well, yeah, because you realize everybody in this game, they're in cahoots. I noticed like a lot of rappers complain about the records labels not like allowing them to drop. You notice after like Michael Jackson, there's not one superstar again. Like you can't even name one superstar anymore. Like they don't want people to be the top star. Like that's how bad it is. Like you don't know no superstar after Michael Jackson in his generation. Because if you try to name one, you're gonna be like, oh, he's trash, he's this, he's mid. It's gonna be a comparison game. But there's no like superstar. They don't want nobody to be at top level because it has like an influence. Like that's why you see like these labels like not letting artists drop or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You know?
Like I feel like it's a label telling them to make certain songs or like it's like they can only drop the worst songs.
Like you see a rapper, right? He'll have like his whole songs ready of his new songs or whatever, even have a snippet, and they'll just throw it in the trash. They'll call it a throwaway. Like, come on, bro. Like, and they wouldn't drop it because something would happen. You know?
Yeah, and it's like if if I can clearly hear the difference as a viewer, it's like I be thinking to myself like, do these artists be hearing a difference? Like, do they ever go back to their old music and think like how different it is, and to try to like recapture that energy? Like, that's another thing I don't be getting. It's like, how do you go from making music a certain way and then just like I said, it just feels like they're not even the same person. It's like, how did you change that much? Because all they would have to do is go back to their old music, and it'll just give them an indicator like, what did I do back then?
I don't even think they do that because they always be dropping the same crap, the same throwaway. You know what I'm saying? I think they don't really look back in it because they may kind of traumatize them because like their music used to be this, but now they got to compare it. So it's gonna kind of demotivate them to not even want to have a career. So you know, I'm thinking they're just saving face by just dropping these throwaway and just
But
listening.
it's like that's when they was the most popping. It's like, why wouldn't you like take some like? Not saying that you have to like make a carbon copy of it, but at least like see what you did right in those moments, like to get you hot and all of that. Like, what components did you use? Like, but it's like they would rather just go on a trend, like go on a Detroit beat or try to fit in with a trend, or like,
You know what's crazy?
it's like they don't want to stick to their sound, or like, this is
Mm,
why they lose their fan bases because they came up a certain way, like appealing to a certain crowd. Like, they probably started off making chill music, bad type of music. So that
rave.
was the crowd that they like cultivated and all that. But it's like then they ventured off and start trying to be like everybody else. Like, or let me make a club sounding song. Let me go on a beat that's trendy. So
Mm-hmm.
they just want to fit in with the times. Like that's all they want to do is like hop on a wave.
Mm-hmm. Like I'm noticing,
So
like
it's so nowadays it's like whatever is hot, whatever's already popping. Like try to make a song like that instead of like making something that's appealing to your fan base or like whatever you came up on, like your targeted sound.
like everybody's like hopping on Detroit beats. I remember before it got blown up in 2019, I was listening to Detroit type beats. It's funny how it just came through. You know, I was listening to rappers like in Detroit, but it's funny how like the thing just went viral. You know, like everybody's like rapping on Detroit beats. They're not rapping on their original sound. You know, like they're rocking like the off beat. Like it's just honestly like I don't really like it. You know, some rappers could like go with it, but it's just nah, bro. Like I'm not rocking with it. Like now you're just doing whatever that's like popping. You know, you just being like a sheep. Like it's like you don't even like care. Like
I saw just a popularity contest now. Like I feel like people used to create just for like the fun of it and just for the hunger of it, like so you felt that energy. But now it's all about popularity. Like let me do the thing that just seems like it's popular. Let me do something that's already trending. And they feel like if they don't, they're just gonna be left in the past or whatever. So they want to be with the current times, but
mm-hmm.
they don't want to seem outdated.
Exactly.
But it's like those were the key components that put you in that level. Like, but it's like now you're gonna avoid all of that.
Like they're the ones that grew with it and mastered that skill. Now they're gonna throw it away just to like fit in, like a niche they don't really like belong to or haven't really like done. You know?
Yeah, like I said, it's not about like living in the past because that's not even what I mean. Like that's what they probably think in their mind. Like, oh, that shit was that many years ago. I'm not living in. It's not even that. I'm just saying like the components that you use. I'm not saying you have to be the exact same, but like at least take the components that you use. It's like everything is just too polished nowadays.
I'm not saying they gotta match everything, but I'm saying flow because you can flow with anything, right? Because it's like a pattern. I'm just telling them to flow like whatever they done, like use the flow, like the same style, like a flow like they done, like the way that they flow, use that. Like, I'm trying to make them like do that, you know, not just copy and just do what's popping or whatever. Like just flow. They need to master that, like how they flow with everything, like so easy. They don't sound like forced.
And they just need to make a topic and just stick to it. Cause it's like now when I hear music, it just sounds like they're punching in their lines. Like they're not talking about nothing. Not saying that you got to be lyrical miracle, but it's like you're not even on a subject.
Hmm.
Like you don't have to use big words or lyrical miracle. I'm just saying just stick to a topic. But it's like now when you hear the music, it doesn't take you nowhere. It's like they're rapping in circles. It's like they're just saying stuff like
That was like mumble, like how people used to complain about mumble rap years ago. This is mumble rap, but now it's really like mumble rap. You can't even hear them, like you know, like they keep like switching it up. Like they're not like they're trying to like sound like there's something, but it sounds like off key. You know.
because even back then with a certain artist, it's like I said, of course, they wasn't lyrical miracle using all of them big words, but it's like they were on a topic. Like I said, I would go back to the old music and I would just compare it. Like when I go back in, it's like they were on a subject with their song. But it's like when I listen to the current version, there's no like subject. Like it doesn't even like I said, you just want to turn it off because it's not leading you nowhere. Like they're not saying anything. Nobody's telling you to make a story, but you're not literally saying anything. So you just lose interest in the first like couple seconds. Like you don't even want to listen. Then the energy just don't even be there. But when I go to back in the day, you can feel the energy. Like the energy is there. The way they're projecting their voice. I don't know if it's yes men around them. I don't know what it is. Like who would let you drop this type of music?
I think everybody's just like following accordingly, basically, so they don't feel the need to like call something out. Not even call it out, but just address it. You know what I'm saying? They're like moving like a stoop. You know.
Especially because like the people around them can only be from the outside looking in. So it's like I'm sure you're getting the viewer's perspective of it. And I'm sure you hear the difference in the music.
Hmm.
It's like they're still hyping these people up. If we can hear the difference, I'm sure they can hear the difference as well. Like I think these people need A&Rs or something that truly is going to tell them the truth, and that can tell them like I don't know.
that can like advise them.
Like they need somebody who's tapped in that can just like be right there in the studio with them to be like, nah, don't choose this type of beat.
Back then, somebody would know if something was trash. Like, hey, this is trash, bro. But now everybody bumping their head, acting like they're like care about it. Like, you know, it's like they're faking it.
Yeah, because it's like most of them people be like in cahoots with them artists. So it's like if they start going against them, it's like they're losing their meal ticket.
Hmm?
Like, they're not gonna go against the artist with millions of dollars. They're just gonna be their yes man, like tell them everything they want to hear.
Hmm? It's like everybody that vibe I
But
get.
back then, but but back then, like when the artist was more hungry, it's like it wasn't really like that because it's like people didn't have nothing to lose. Like those artists weren't rich like how they were now, so it's like they were getting a more realistic feedback from people because they don't have no reputation to uphold or nothing. Like those artists weren't really big at that time, so it's like people ain't gonna be like kissing up to them. Like they're gonna tell you if it's trash, and you're gonna actually have to put in work in the studio.
Hmm.
It's like now you got so much money, you could just go in there and just freestyle it, like just say anything in your brain.
Yeah, like they're just making it like just to make it now. Like you can just tell like the difference. Now they up, so it's like they don't really feel like they need to like do it. You know what I'm saying? Since they got all like this money, you know, it's like the vibe I get from people is like everybody trying to like act mature, especially these rappers, like they're growing up. But even though years ago you was still like kind of an adult, get into the industry. Like, why don't you make that same vibe? Like everybody trying to act like they mature, this like they trying to like rap like old school. Like it just sounds very corny. Like you don't even like look right. Like you're just doing too much. You know. They don't want to seem like too niche. You know.
It's just really crazy though, because it's like at least make something that comes close to like the old stuff. Like nobody's even saying you have to repeat it or copy and paste. Like at least make something remotely close. That's all I'm saying. But it's like you don't even get that nowadays.
At least make something that reminds you of it. You know.
Yeah, that's all I was saying like the whole time. Like, cause like I said, people would be like, "Oh, I'm not going in the past." Oh, well, it's too many years ago. But like I said, at least make something remotely close. At least like use the same instrumentation by your current flow. Like I said, just incorporate some of those components that you use. Nobody's saying you have to replicate it, but it's like they don't even do that.
They be like, I'm trying, man. Y'all give me a moment, man. Like y'all wait, man. And we've been waiting for years. You know, albums that artists supposed to drop like years ago, they still haven't dropped. Like
Yeah,
I've been like playing around with us. Like we've been going to your shows, everything. This is how you like play us. You know.
or they'll bring up the fact that they're working on something, but then they'll just stop.
Hmm.
It's just like they don't take it serious. Like And then they wonder why when they finally do drop some, it's like nobody cares because it's like you're not even keeping the viewers like up to date, or they'll just like stall it out.
They'll
Like
get mad.
you're stalling this long, but it's like the final product doesn't ever even be that good. So it's like, what are you taking all this time for to drop? They just want to keep pushing it back.
And like they get mad when it flops.
Like they'll really sit there and hype you up, and then it just be trash. Like you did all of that pushing the album back. You took all that time, and then it's like the final product is trash. So now I don't even get my hopes up with nothing at this point. I used to come into things with that mindset, like expecting stuff to be so good, but it's like now I'd be expecting stuff to be bad at this point. So I don't even be having my hopes up. And you'll always end up getting let down. Like you'll try to have that good mindset, like, oh, this might be fair. This let me tune in. And it's trash. So now I just be looking at everything like don't even expect much out of it.
it's like now you kind of expect it because the artist has let you down so much times. They've been delaying projects. They barely even drop singles. So now you like expect it. You know.
Oh, they used to even drop mixtapes back then. And like I said, nowadays everything is so polished. Like it has to be an album. Like back then it was like more free. Like it was more free to release stuff, and it would just be like a mixtape. It wouldn't be all overly produced. But it's like nowadays everything has to be like an album, and then it just be watered down at that point.
No, I said no more. Sit down if you want to listen to like even when they drop albums, they have songs on there that's not the original. That has been kind of like edited or whatever. They say it's remastered, but it sounds kind of like worse than the other version, or they don't even have the original songs. You know what I'm saying? So
Or
it's
certain songs don't even be on it. Like they be missing. It's
hmm
like the sample clearance issues. Or some of them will still have the same song, but it'll be a different sample because like the sample didn't get cleared. So you'll just hear a different version of it. I don't even get why it's ever that serious to like do all of that.
hmm
Like just let the song be the song. Like is it really that serious about a sample?
Exactly. You can probably pay the person or give them like a small percentage, because that small percentage will make a benefit to them. It might not be $1 million, but just do it with that and just drop the song. You know. And I want to talk about like too, like being independent. A lot of people think like you have to like sign a label. But the artists is like now they'll be better than before, and then as soon as they get a label, now they can't even make no music, bruh. Their shit is like not as the best anymore, bro. It's not
Mm-hmm.
artistic. Like, bruh, you was good independent. You was making this money, but now you signed this label. They gave you $1 million. You might have had $1 million, but you was making like income, active income from your music. You was doing like shows, but now they give you this one big loan of like 1 million or 100,000. Now you're gonna sell your whole catalog away. Like that's a huge finesse, you know, just for you to get on the spotlight for like a month or so, and now they just forgotten about you. Like you could have done that yourself,
Mm-hmm.
you know. Like a lot of people have this shiny object syndrome. Like it's a finesse.
They just want that quick money. They don't even realize that they gotta pay that money back. Like all that advance money has to be recouped back.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they're giving you $1 million, but you gotta make that back. It's like you was better out being independent.
Mm-hmm.
And
They
then they're
always
gonna start making you do stuff you don't want to do. Like you're gonna have to start making like certain music that you don't want to make. They're gonna start like sending you certain producers. You're gonna start having to like make pop songs. Like I've seen it with certain artists, like how they started, and it's like now they don't hit the same. And then you start to see the music that they're making. Like I said, they be trying to make it seem like, oh, I'm being experimental. But it's like that's when this shit gets worse. Like they'll start to go on pop beats, and they just seem watered down now. Like
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
it's like
Like
you're
Taylor
trying
Swift.
so hard to be in a certain lane. Like you had your own lane, like I said before. Like you had your own fan base, but it's like now you're just trying hard to like cross over. So now you're trying to do different beats, different sounds.
They're
Like
trying.
you already had your fan base and you already had your lane.
Mm-hmm. They be like, I'm trying to be variety. I'm trying to like be fun size and creative. It don't sound nothing
I'm
like
trying to
that.
be played in a club. Like, why do you want to be played in a club so bad? Like, stick to your own lane. You make chill music.
Bro, there's artists who didn't even become mainstream that their music got played in the club. You know what I'm saying? Like you're just retarded. Like you don't even have to like sign a label no more. That was different. You can go up without a label. There's artists that are just taking over. Now there's a mainstream within like there's like a mainstream within like the underground or whatever. Like now you can create your own stream basically. You don't even have to be mainstream. You can create your own steam. Like these guys are just getting finessed by the label because of shiny object syndrome. It's a finesse. Like they say you can like they say, oh, go to college and get a job. Yes, it might be more guaranteed because of money, but it's like if you go to college or whatever, like you might not find a job you want. And if you get a job, they could fire you. But if you have your business, yeah, you gotta run it every day, but it's all on you. You know what I'm saying? You control it 80 to 90% of the time. You,
Yeah.
you see how to get people?
Like I said, they want the money up. They want that quick money.
But it's like they're already getting like the money. Like they're getting like people are knowing them, they're fans. Why can't they just do 100 times what they'll do like the mainstream would do to get them up with their fans since they're connected to them, and then to make more from that? Why do they gotta feel like they gotta sign a label so fast and give away their rights? You know, you know.
They just want that quick money.
Yep. It's coming from that survival mode too. They want the quick money. So somebody go give you $1 million. Now they own your whole catalog. Like that's like a scam.
They're just not thinking in the long term. They're just thinking right there in the moment. Like,
It
bro,
sounds kind
this person's offering me $8 million right now.
of. They don't know how long the $8 is gonna last, but then they're just gonna get it. It may sound smart because it's a lot of money, but it's like it's kind of a finesse. They own your whole catalog. You can't drop when you want to. Like it's called calculator. So it's like you really want to take the finesse. It's like playing the lottery at that point. You know, you may win the
They just
money, but
don't see the importance of it until later down the road. They might have a catalog already, but they don't see the importance of it until later on. That's when they be wanting their rights back once later down the line. They're gonna see the value of it. But it's like that's what the label already was noticed, and they know the value of it already. That's why they offer that money up front, because they're like, okay, I know what this catalog is, and I'm going to make back more than even double or triple the amount that I'm going to give you. So of course they're going to give you that deal. It just be crazy how they fall off, dude. Like,
I remember all these rappers throughout these years since like 2015 or whatever. They all like kind of fell off. Like it's crazy. Like you think these people was gonna evolve to like a pop star, but oh my goodness, like, they all like fell off. You know.
it's just a disgrace at this point. Music is one of the main things that I enjoy, and it's like it's a wrap for that now because you can't listen to nothing good.
Mm-hmm. Just don't even
At least back then, that was a muse for like certain people. Like they was actually able to listen to current music back then, and it would be good. It's like now we don't even get that luxury, man. We have to turn on music and just instantly be thrown off. Like and you got these female artists and like rapping about all that freaky stuff. Like nobody wants to hear that.
Well, wants to hear it.
Like I don't think these artists will ever make a comeback. Even if you try to have hope, it's like you'll just continue to get let down. This is why when they announce a new project, I'm not excited. I just be like I said, I'm not expecting much out of it. I'm not getting my hopes up.
It's like, bro, like even when they drop like a fire song, prior to not dropping, guess what happens? They take it down, or the label takes it down, and they don't drop for like another 6 or 7 months. It's crazy.
They barely be dropping sometimes. Like I said, back then they were more freely to drop because it wasn't albums. Like they didn't have to get everything clear. They was able to use samples and all that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like now it's like they take like 4 years to drop something.
I got a question. Say there's a record label, right? You may not want to sign with them. If they offer to collab with you, would you trust it? It's a collab. Like, would you trust it, or you feel like it's like a finesse, like the way for them to like ease you like in? Like, what would you do?
It just depends on like whatever contract you have. Like, are you signing any contract? If there ain't no contract attached to it, you still might not want to do it because like they might be expecting something from you, like a favor for a favor. I don't think they're just gonna do something for you like that without no stipulations behind it.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like it's still a slight finesse.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it unless they're gonna pay me the money up front. Then okay, but it's gonna always be something attached to it. So it's like they're not just gonna let you off the hook that easily. They're gonna try to own that part or whatever, and then you're gonna go through these things, and now you gotta try to like get you trying to like get dropped from this like label. So it's not worth it.
And it's like some of them labels be holding them artists like hostage.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause they be having to complete albums. Like they may have to complete like a certain number amount of albums to get off the label. So that's probably another reason why the music don't sound like enthusiastic and all that. Because they're probably making it to get off the label.
Mm-hmm. Like music is supposed to be like art. It was not supposed to be force. It's supposed to be something like that's like graph like within you. So when you're making music force, it's like it's gonna come off, and people are gonna like pick up on it. You know, music was supposed to sort of be like passionate because it's music. It says muse. It's supposed to be like amusing. So it's like it's not supposed to be forced. Like when you're forced to like make music, it's like that's not even good. Like people are gonna pick up on it. You know.
And just how the energy is, and like, especially if you're like, your conscious, like, awareness level is up. Sometimes I don't think you don't have to know, like, for surely what's going on, but it's like, it's like you'll be aware of certain things without being aware of it, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you might not know exactly what you're aware of, but it's like you'll pick up on, like, just the truth about something, like, subconsciously. So, like, you might not know for a fact, like, this artist is forcing this music. You might not know it exactly what he's doing, but it's like, that's probably why it's like not as enjoyable to listen to certain stuff because like you're just too aware, and you might be subconsciously aware of the fact that they're just forcing it.